Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Good to see you. My name's Cody, one of the pastors here. Glad you're here today as we start this new series, The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. I'll be honest with you, this series started really as like a personal journey for me because as I've been going through life, it just keeps speeding up. Okay, I don't know about you, but I just keep getting busier and busier and busier. I'm busier now than I was when I was in college, when I was single, when I got married. Now I have a bunch of kids. Now it's just like more to do at work, more to do with school, more to do with everything, right? And I kind of have this mentality of, well, when things slow down, then I'll have time to do this, this, and this. And what I've realized is things never slow down. In fact, they just get faster and faster and faster. And I've been very busy. And I've noticed, too, you are in the same boat. You are very, very busy. In fact, when I talk to people, when I talk to you, when I say hi to people, I say, hey, hi, how are you doing? One of the most common answers is, I'm good, I'm just really tired, right? All the time, I'm good, I'm just tired. And if I ask, well, why are you tired? The answer is, I'm busy. I'm really busy. I'm just busy, busy, busy. And this is true for everyone, okay? I ask junior hires, same response. I'm busy, right? I ask high schoolers, I'm busy. College age, I'm busy. Single people, I'm busy. Married people, I'm busy. Parents, I'm busy, right? Empty nesters, I'm busy. You retired people are sometimes the worst. I'll talk to you and you say, I'm busier now than I've ever been, right? Can you retired people testify to that? All the time. You're like, I just have so much to do. I'm busy, 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 busy. We have a lot of stuff on our plate. We got a lot of things, right? It starts with school. We got jobs. We get boyfriends and girlfriends. We have spouses. Then we have a baby, and then maybe a second baby, and then maybe a third baby. And if you're like me and my wife, Carissa, maybe a fourth baby, right? Babies take up a lot of time. In fact, one of our favorite jokes, my wife and I, is, do you want to know what it's like to have a fourth baby? Just imagine you're drowning, and then someone hands you a baby, okay? That's what it's like, all right? Babies take up a lot of time, okay? We have so much stuff. When your kids get older, we have school, and they have homework, and they have basketball practice, soccer practice, volleyball practice, band practice, all the extracurricular stuff. We have dinner to cook, laundry to do, dishes to do, yard work, housework, projects, all over the place, right? And then on top of that, we like buying stuff, don't we? Isn't stuff great? Oh man, we love our stuff, and we buy stuff, lots of stuff, and then we don't have time to use the stuff that we bought, right? And then we get in debt because of the stuff, and then we go, I got to work even more to pay off the stuff that I don't have time to even use, right? And it's like a cycle over and over again. We could go on and on with all the stuff we have, right? But on top of all that, we have social media to scroll through. I got all these people I got to follow, all these things I got to like, all these videos I got to watch, right? We got Netflix shows to binge. There's so many seasons of so many shows that we got to catch up with. It's almost stressful, right? I'm only on season 2. There's 8 seasons. How can I get through it all, right? We have TV to watch. We have stuff to entertain us all the time. And again, that list can go on and on. I've left a lot of stuff out, but you get the point. Our plates are full, are they not? We are busy people. Our lives are jam-packed. And then what happens for a lot of us, for the world that we live in, is we wake up one day and we feel overwhelmed. We're going, oh, there's so much stuff. There's so much going on in my life. And we are stressed out. And we are anxious. And we are rushed. And we are in a hurry. And we just don't have a lot of time. We don't have time to do the stuff we want to do. And we end up leaving stuff out that we love. Or worse yet, we live out people we love because we just don't have time for them. We don't have time to get it all in there, right? And we may ask ourselves, is this really what life is all about? Is this really what it is? We're just rushing through life as fast as possible. We're working. We're busy. Is this what it's all about? Dallas Willard, he was a Christian theologian. He was a philosopher at USC, the University of Southern California. And he said this: hurry is the great enemy of spiritual life in our day. You must ruthlessly eliminate hurry from your life. Hurry is the great enemy of our spiritual lives. If I went around and asked us what we thought was the great enemy, many of us probably would not think of hurry. There's a lot of big issues out there, a lot of things we could talk about that are enemy to our spiritual life, but hurry, being the great enemy of our spiritual life, is probably off our radar. And Dallas Willard says, you must ruthlessly eliminate hurry. Hence the name of this series, you must ruthlessly eliminate hurry. Corrie ten Boom, she once said this: if the devil can't make you sin, he'll make you busy. all right? If he can't make you sin, he will make you busy. And there's truth in that because both sin and hurry and busyness have the same effect. They cut us off from your connection to God. They cut us off from our connection to others, don't they? We're too busy to spend time with God. We're too busy for others, whatever it may be. Michael Zigarelli, he's from Charleston Southern University School of Business. He's a Christian, and he conducted an obstacles to growth survey of over 20,000 Christians. So he went to different Christians, and he was trying to determine the obstacles that they faced for growth. And he determined, and he saw that busyness was a major distraction in the spiritual life of people, a major distraction. And here's what he said. Here's what he hypothesized. He said, it may be the case that, one, Christians are assimilating to a culture of busyness, hurry, and overload, which leads to, two, God becoming more marginalized in Christians' lives, which leads to, three, a deteriorating relationship with God, which leads to, four, Christians becoming even more vulnerable to adopting secular assumptions about how to live, which leads to, five, more conformity to a culture of busyness, hurry, and overload, and then the cycle begins again. So all that to say is we look as Christians at culture, and we say culture is busy, we'll be busy. And then that distracts us from the things of God. We stop spending time with God, and then we become even more like culture, which makes us more busy, and it's just a cycle over and over again, right? Simply put, we're busy, we're in a hurry, and it is ruining our relationship with God. Really simply put, we're busy, we are hurry, and it is ruining, messing up our relationship with God. And the problem, as we've already alluded to, is that the culture we live in tells us that hurry and busyness is good. This is the culture we live in. It's good to be fast. It's good to be busy. It's good to do all the things you can possibly do, get it all in there, play every sport, go on every vacation, buy all the things, experience life to the fullest, and that's life, is just being busy, right? Slow is bad, fast is good, okay? It's bad to be slow in our culture. It is good to be fast. That's the world we live in. But it didn't always used to be this way with hurry, 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 busy, 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 fill up your schedule to the full, in fact, overfull. So what we're going to do real quick is we're going to look at a brief history of hurry, okay? We'll look at history a little bit and see how do we get to this point in our culture today, the year 2025, where we are just so busy that we are overloaded and stressed out and freaked out and just going crazy, okay? It starts, many historians actually, they point to the year 1370 as a turning point in Western civilization, okay? 1370. This was the year that our concept for how we understood time changed, because it was in the year 1370 in Cologne, Germany, that the first public clock was constructed, okay? That was the first time we had a public clock, and everybody in one town was all on that one clock, okay? Before that moment, time was natural, okay? So what that meant was you woke up when the sun rose. You went to bed when the sun went down, okay? In the summer, the days were long. You maybe worked a little longer. In the winter, days were shorter. You worked a little less, right? It was a natural flow of things. But the clock came in, and it changed all of that. And we now had artificial time. People say that God created the days. We created hours and minutes and seconds, okay? Now, all of a sudden, we stop listening to God-given natural signs, which is the rising of the sun, the setting of the sun, our own bodies, and we began listening to the clock and living by the clock, right? It's all about the clock, and we're run by these hours and minutes and seconds. That was the year 1370, a long time ago, right? You fast forward about 500 years to the year 1879. We had another big major breakthrough in that year. Thomas Edison invented the light bulb in 1879. What this did now was it made it much easier for us to stay up past sunset, right? It used to be when it got dark, you stopped working. When it got dark, you just went to bed. Okay, that's just what you do. Now we can flip a switch and we have daylight. So we can work much longer, we can stay up much later. Did you know that before the invention of the light bulb, the average American slept 11 hours a night? I mean, they had nothing else to do. They were like, let's go to bed, I guess, right? But they slept 11 hours a night. Now, the average American sleeps 6.5 hours a night. It's no wonder we're so tired, right? 6.5 hours a night is what the average American gets because we can stay up later now, right? We have all this stuff, okay? And then in the early 1900s, we had more technological advancements, okay? And our relationship to time changed yet again because we had all of these labor-saving devices all of a sudden show up on the scene, being invented, okay? Labor-saving devices are things like cars and dishwashers and laundry machines and vacuums and toasters, things that are supposed to save us time. And they do save us time, because when you think about it, now we don't have to walk anywhere. We can drive, right? Something that might take a day to walk, now all of a sudden took 5 minutes, okay? Also, now it was much easier and faster to cook and clean and take care of your home. All these things that took a long time now went much quicker, right? Now we don't have to wash every shirt. We throw it in the laundry and it's done, right, in an hour, and we're good to go. But even with all of these new inventions that were saving us time, it felt like people had less time instead of more time. And can we agree with that? All of us have washing machines and laundry machines, and we can just microwave food, and we drive in our cars, but we're so busy. And those things do save us time, but what happened to that time? We spent it on other things. We just said, okay, we're not busy doing that anymore. We'll just get busy with something else, right? We'll add more to our plate and just go crazier on something else. In the 1960s, it was predicted that by now we'd all be working way fewer hours. You guys ever watch like old movies from the 60s and they show the future and everybody's just like so at peace, everything's clean, everything's perfect, everybody's just laying around, robots doing everything for us? It's not the world we live in, is it, right? Actually, in 1967, at a Senate subcommittee, it was predicted that by 1985, the average American would only work 22 hours a week for 27 weeks a year. Does that sound great? 1985 is come and gone, right? Long time ago, and right now, we're not working less, we're working way more, right? It used to be they thought we'd have too much time on our hands, too much leisure. It's the opposite. We're too busy, much busier, right? Time has gone down, and we work more now than we ever have as Americans. And during that same time frame, the 1960s, something else happened, because we saw the death of the Sabbath in the United States of America. It used to actually be, up into the 1960s, some places actually even later, there was these things called blue laws. Blue laws forced businesses to close on Sundays. Nowadays, only Chick-fil-A is closed on Sundays, right? You ever drive through the Chick-fil-A and you're all mad that they're closed? Like, I wanted my chicken sandwich, what's the deal? But now that's all it is. Back then, everything was closed, right? Everything was closed in the 1960s. Nothing was open, okay? The only thing that was open was the church. So what that did was it was almost a government-forced slowdown. Sundays, you have it off. That is the Sabbath, you rest. You don't go shopping, you don't go out to eat, you don't do anything. You maybe go to church, and that's it, okay? And things have changed drastically since the 1960s, haven't they? In one generation. So some of you maybe remember those times where everything was closed on Sundays. I never got to experience that, right? But in one generation now, Sunday being a day of rest has now shifted and changed to a day of shopping, eating out, running errands, sports, or getting a jump start on all the work ahead for Monday. Sundays are almost busier now for us than any other day of the week. And our culture just keeps getting faster and faster and faster and busier and busier and busier. And all of this came to a head in the year 2007. Do you know what happened in 2007? This is Pastor Angela's favorite invention of all time, okay? This changed her life and your life because that's the year that the iPhone came out, all right? The iPhone. How many of you have iPhones? Anybody? Amen, right? We're all just here together with our iPhones, okay? It was also around this time in 2007 that YouTube and Facebook and Twitter all came on the scene, okay? All around that time. And now we were in the full-blown digital age, year 2007, okay? We are living in the digital age. And the world has radically changed since 2007. I was aware of this. I was born in 1990, so I lived kind of before the digital age. It happened right in the middle of my life. I'm 35 now, and it has changed drastically from when I was in high school to now. The high schoolers are dealing with things way different than I did when I was in high school because of this digital age. Because right now, in our pockets, we have all of the information and all of the distractions that the world has to offer in our pockets, right? All of the time. And we can't imagine living without it, can we? We are so used to having our phones that if you ever leave the house with your phone accidentally, don't you just feel lost? Be real, people, okay? You're like, I can't even find how to get to church without Google Maps. What do I do, right? It's like, you live 5 minutes away. We're just lost without it, okay? And we are now addicted to our phones. And culture and science, all these things are showing us this. A recent study actually found that the average iPhone user, you raised your hands if you're out there, okay? We touch our phones 2,617 times a day. Isn't that crazy? How many of you are holding your phone right now? Let's see. Let's see a few, right? That's like hopefully you're taking notes on your Bible or something, okay? But it's constantly in our hand. It's constantly in our hands, right? The average smartphone user, this is all smartphones, not just iPhones, but they spend over 2.5 hours per day on their phone. okay? Now that is all smartphone users, so that means even those of you who are like barely on your phone, maybe the older generation, you're pulling that number way down, okay? So here's something crazy for millennials, which is my generation, okay? Millennials, we are on our phones 5 hours per day, on average, 5 hours per day on our phones. Now Gen Z, okay, which is junior high and high school, they are on their phones 7 hours per day, on average. They're born into this digital age, they live it, and that's all they know, and they are just on their phones. And what's happening actually is studies have shown that our working memory and our problem-solving skills have actually gotten worse since the invention of the smartphones. All that to say, these smartphones are making us dumber. We don't have to remember anything anymore. We'll just Google it. I don't need to remember a phone number. It's in my phone, right? So we've actually lost this ability to remember things or to solve problems. I don't need to solve a problem. I'll just look it up on YouTube. Somebody else has done that for me, right? This is the world we live in. It's also shown that smartphones are ruining our attention spans. Back in the year 2000, our attention span was 12 seconds. So not very good to begin with, right? If I speak for, some of you I've already lost half of you, okay? That's where we're at. But 12 seconds in the year 2000. But since then, it's dropped to 8 seconds. So to put that into perspective, a goldfish has the attention span of 9 seconds, okay? So we are losing the goldfish, okay? This is the world we live in. Now listen, I'm not opposed to phones and technology. I love technology. In fact, I have an iPad right now. That's my notes, okay? So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we go back to the Stone Age or become Amish or anything like that. But we just need to be aware of what it's doing to us, especially for our children. I think we hand smartphones to like 6-year-olds, and it's like, what are we doing? Their brains are not ready for this. We got to protect our kids from these things, right? Again, most people, we have no idea how much time we spend on our phones. We really don't. We don't even realize it. It's a few minutes here, it's a few minutes there. I'll watch this quick video, I'll look this up real fast, and all of a sudden, those minutes have added up to hours each day. Hours just on our phones. So we as a society, we're addicted to our phones. And that's just phones, by the way. That's not going into the computers or the tablets or the television or anything like that. That's just what we do on our phones, right? So we're addicted to these things. We're addicted to social media. We're addicted to Netflix. We're addicted to television. We are just addicted to the device. And we are wasting so much of our time on something that was supposed to save us time. It was supposed to make our lives easier and give us more time, and all of a sudden we're just sinking our time into these things, right? And because of this, it makes us feel even more busy and even more hurried. All the other stuff of life, and now we got our phones just sucking us into it, right? It's gotten to the point now where psychologists and mental health professionals are now using a term called hurry sickness. Hurry sickness. This is a real term, hurry sickness. This term was first coined by Meyer Friedman in the 1950s. And he was a cardiologist who rose to fame because he theorized that people who were constantly angry or in a rush were more prone to heart attacks. And he actually noticed this in his waiting room because they had to replace the upholstery on their chairs, and they noticed their chairs were wearing out really weird. They only were worn out at the very edge of the seats and the edge of the armrests because everybody coming in was sitting right on the edge of their seats. They're like bouncing their legs. As soon as they'd call their name, they'd jump up, they'd run out, and as soon as their appointment was done, they'd run out the door because they were hurried and busy. And these people were having heart attacks. Their hearts were worse because they were in a rush and they were busy, busy, busy. So he came up with this term, hurry sickness. And he defined it in this way. He said, hurry sickness is a continuous struggle and unremitting attempt to accomplish or achieve more and more things or participate in more and more events in less and less time. Got more and more to do, more and more to occupy our time. We don't have the time to do it, right? We just don't have the time, and it is stressing us out. So it is hurry sickness. We are all infected with it. And by the way, he said that again, remember, in the 1950s, okay? We look at the 50s, and we got a baby coming up here. Somebody's lost a child? Anybody good? She's just going to come preach. There we go. I have babies. Like I told you, we have 4 kids. It is what it is. And the stage is popular. They want to be up here, right? But in the 50s, they were looking at our world and saying, we are too busy. We're infected with hurry sickness. 75 years later, it's worse, is it not? We are busy, busy, busy. So here are some of the symptoms of hurry sickness. This is not an exhaustive list. This isn't all-encompassing, but here are some of the main symptoms of hurry sickness. I want you to look at this list, see if any of these ring true for you. Number 1, irritability. We're so busy, we're late, we're stressed out, so we get mad, frustrated, or annoyed way too easily, right? We're rushing out the door, so we snap at our kids for whatever reason because we're hurried, right? We got to go. Hypersensitivity. Minor things stress you out, freak you out, ruin your day. Something pops in and you're just too busy. I can't handle that, so everything's ruined because this one little thing popped up. Don't have the time to handle it. Hypersensitivity. Restlessness. You just can't relax. You cannot slow down. Your mind is always going. You're doing 3 things at once all the time. You're watching TV while you're on your phone and while you're folding laundry, right? You just got to be going. Workaholism, okay? You just don't know when to stop, or you can't stop. This might show up as you're addicted to your job, or it could be you're addicted to housework. It could be you're addicted to running errands. It could be addicted to projects. I always have to have something to be doing all the time. I just got to go. Number 5, emotional numbness. You just don't have the capacity to feel other people's pain. Empathy is rare for you because I don't have time for it. You come to me and you have a problem, I got my own problems. No time to deal with your problems. If you throw that on me, I'm gonna lose it, right? Emotional numbness. Number 6, out of order priorities. You're always doing what's most urgent, not what is most important. So something pops up, I got to do that, and we neglect the most important things. And we're busier than ever, but it still feels like we don't have time for what matters most. Because we're focusing on the most urgent, not the most important. Number 7, lack of care for your body. So you don't have time for the basics. You don't get enough sleep. You don't eat right. You don't exercise. You're just tired all of the time. You're neglecting just taking care of yourself. Number 8, escapist behaviors. When you do have downtime, your mind is going so much that you try to distract yourself by overeating or over-drinking or just binge-watching a show or just scrolling for hours on social media, right? It's the end of the night and you just can't sleep, so just scroll. Number 9, slippage of spiritual disciplines. When we are too busy, usually the first things to go are the things we need the most as followers of Jesus. The first things to go are usually the things we need the most. So what this means is we're not praying. We're not reading our Bibles. We're not going to church very often. We're not taking a Sabbath day of rest. We're just too busy. And the irony in these things is that the things that give us the best rest, the things that we need the most for our souls and to recharge, they actually take time, and they take energy, and they take self-discipline. So we know I need to read my Bible, but we wake up in the morning, I'm busy, I'll skip that this morning. I know I should pray, and it's the end of the night, but I'm really tired, so I'm just going to go to bed, right? I know I should go to church, but I got this project I got to do at home, so I'm just going to do that instead. I'll skip that. I know I should have a day of rest where I just focus on Jesus and relationship and my family and my wife and my kids, but I got all these things and chores and errands I got to do, so I'll skip that. We're over busy, we're overtired, we just don't have the energy or the discipline to do what we know that our souls need most, and we skip those things. Number 10 is isolation. You feel disconnected from God and others. On the rare occasions where you do say, okay, I'm going to pray, I'll spend time with God, your mind is too distracted to settle down. Your mind is too distracted to just spend time with your Savior. And when you're with your friends or your family, you're on your phone, distracting you. Or again, your mind is a million miles away, you're just thinking about all the things you got to do, right? And you're forgetting, you're missing out on those that you love most. Isolation. So we have that list there. You can look at that list, 10 things. Not all encompassing, there's probably more. But how did you score? How many of these ring true for you? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe all 10? How many of you just feel great today? How many of you are like already stressed out just looking at what I've shown you? Oh, it's wonderful, right? If you check the box on a lot of these, you're not alone. It's probably most of us in this room. Check the box on a lot of these things. And I don't want you to feel stressed out. I don't want you to feel guilty. I don't want you to feel condemnation. Those things aren't of the Lord in any way. But what I want us to understand is all of this is that our society is burned out and stressed out. There is noise everywhere. There is hurry everywhere. We are going. We are busy. We are rushed. We are just hurried. And it's only getting worse and worse and worse. And this is the new normal. And it is not good for us. It's not the way life is supposed to be lived. It's not the way we as followers of Jesus are supposed to live our lives. And we've accidentally slipped into that. And because of these things, it's ruining our relationship with God. It's ruining our relationship with each other. It's ruining our relationship with our family, with our friends. It's affecting what matters most. We just need to be aware of these things. So the problem is hurry. The problem is hurry. Okay? Hurry is the great enemy of our spiritual lives. And hopefully after today we can see why, what it's doing to us. And we haven't even realized sometimes that it's happened, right? Hurry steals what is most important. Hurry destroys our relationship with God. Hurry destroys our relationship with people, right? Hurry is the problem. So we look at all this and we go, okay, well, what do we do? This is the natural thing. This is the world we live in. This is the culture we live in. I have so much. How do I fix this? What's the solution? And the solution is Jesus. That's always the answer at church, by the way, if you're unsure. It's Jesus, okay? The solution is Jesus. If you look at Jesus' life, if anyone had a right to be in a hurry, it would have been Jesus, okay? He came to this earth with a mission to live a perfect life and then save the world. Did you talk about pressure? And he's got to get all that done within 33 years. I'm 35. I have not accomplished nearly as much as Jesus has, right? He had a lot to do. He had sermons to preach. He had people to heal. He had demons to cast out. He had Pharisees to rebuke, right? All of these things. And he was constantly, when you look at his life, constantly having people come to him and say, I need you to do this, Jesus. I need you to fix this, Jesus. I need you to help me with this, Jesus. He had people constantly interrupting him. He's trying to pray. He's trying to get alone. He's trying to have time with his disciples. And people are constantly interrupting Jesus. His schedule was full. He had a lot to do in a good way. And yet, when you look at the life of Jesus, he was never hurried. Jesus was never in a hurry. Jesus, in this world of hurry, he was slow in a good way. He was intentional. He was full of love and joy and peace all of the time. And if hurry is of the devil, slow is of Jesus. In fact, Jesus, he said this in John 10:10. He said, the thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. So the devil, he steals our time. He steals our joy, our peace, our hope. He destroys our relationship with God and with others. But Jesus comes, I've come to do the opposite. I've come to give you life, eternal life in heaven, of course, but even he's come to give us the best life possible while we're still here on planet Earth. The best life possible. And the thing about Jesus is he knows our nature, and he knows what we're like. And he knows we are hurried, and he knows we are busy, and he knows we are stressed out, and he knows we are tired. He knows these things. So here is his invitation to all of us. In Matthew 11:28, he says, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. For I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light. In the next few weeks, we are going to learn how to ruthlessly eliminate hurry from our lives. And we are going to learn how to take the easy yoke of Jesus and live the life that Jesus has called us to live. We are going to learn how to live like Jesus. Let's stand together, please. And our worship team's coming on up. There are many of us here today that are likely weary, and we are burdened, and we are tired in body, mind, and soul. And we're stressed out. We just got all these things that we're thinking about. Even as we're here today, I got all this list to do this afternoon and tomorrow, and I got all these things. And remember, the answer is Jesus. The solution is Jesus. So I want to encourage you today, first and foremost, if you're here and you've never put your faith and trust in Jesus, that's the first thing you need to do. Everything else, if he's not Lord and Savior of your life, everything's out of balance. Everything you do won't satisfy you. Nothing you do will satisfy you. You've got to go to Jesus, and you say, Jesus, you're God. You died for my sins. You rose again. I make you Lord of my life. I believe in you. I'm casting my cares, my burdens, my worries on you. And Jesus says, I'll take them. I'll take them. and I'll wipe away the rest, and you're a new creation. That's the first step. So if you haven't done that, I want to encourage you, today's the day. Don't wait till tomorrow or next week or whenever. Just make that decision today. I want to follow Jesus. And if you want to do that, we have people at the sides who are there who they'd love to talk to you about that. For the rest of us, odds are most of you here are saying, I'm a follower of Jesus, but I'm still stressed out. I'm still busy. I'm still in a hurry. I still have all these things that are just taking up my time and my energy and my focus, and I want to get back to focusing on Jesus. So if that's you today, Jesus has given you the invitation. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. I will give you rest. I'm gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls when you come to me. My yoke is easy, my burden is light. So if you've got things burdening you, if you're weary and tired, give it to Jesus. Leave it here today. Say, God, I'm giving it to you, and I want to start just living for you every day. I want to spend time in my word every day. I want to pray every day. I want to do what's most important for my soul, which is spending time with you and getting to know you and being loved by you and loving you back in return. I want that, Jesus. And Jesus wants that too, more than anything, is to have that relationship with you. And I love his word where he says, if you draw near to me, I'll draw near to you. So maybe you haven't been drawing near to him very often. Maybe you've been a little standoffish because you've been too busy. But make that step. Take a step and say, I'm going to go to you, Jesus. Today's the day. I'm not going to be hurried. I'm not going to be rushed. I'm not going to be busy. I'm going to stop focusing on all this stuff. I'm going to focus on you, my relationship with you. And when you do that, everything else falls into place. Your relationship with your spouse, your relationship with kids, your relationship with your job, all those things falls into place when Jesus is first. So today I'm going to give you this invitation as a church. If you're weary, if you're tired, if you're burdened, if you got these things you want to get rid of, give it to Jesus. These altars are open. We call them altars at the front because in the Old Testament, you'd come to the God, you'd make a sacrifice, you'd give it to him in acts of worship. And sometimes there's a time where we, thankfully, don't have to sacrifice animals anymore. Jesus is the one who's done that for us. We can come to the altar and say, God, I'm giving this to you as an act of worship. I'm giving my life to you. I'm giving my stuff to you. I'm giving my time to you. I'm giving my family to you. I'm giving whatever it is to you. And that step of faith is almost stepping out and just almost an act of like, I'm drawing near to you, God, physically, emotionally, spiritually, every single way. I'm coming to you. I'm giving it to you. So I want to encourage you today, if you want rest for your souls, if you want to live the life that Jesus has asked you to live and have life to the full, I'm going to ask this. I don't do this very often, but come to the front. Come to the front and give it to Jesus. Go to the sides if you want people to pray for you and say, I just need prayer. They're there with you. They're going to go to Jesus with you. So in this moment, we're going to sing the song again, all about Jesus, because he's the answer. We're going to go to Jesus, and we're going to cast our cares, our burdens, our worries, our fears, our time, all these things on him. And we're going to worship him. So you can come to the front if you want. You can go to the sides if you want. Let's spend time seeking Jesus, who's the only one who can give us true rest for our souls. Let's worship him.